All right, welcome back to the Journalism Yearbooks Part 2. So, we're looking at from my North High School, my school. So, this is the 1985. So, it's called Something Different. Life was different at 1985. Hmm. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while to get done. Thought that blank page said nothing. I don't know why. Table of contents, student life, people, academics, sports, seniors, in advertising. Something different. How many times do you have you caught yourself thinking, I feel like a nobody. I wish I could be unique, something different. Be honest. Once, twice, 10 times, we'll just look around. All of you are different. Look at these pictures. They show the spirit you have in your school and your friendliness towards total strangers. You express yourself quite well by just wearing what feels normal to you, and you show your uniqueness. There are over 2,000 students around you every school day, but each of you have unique qualities. All of these special qualities help North excel in everything she does. We stand out because we're unique. We're something different. Stuff those wimpians. Wimp wimpians. Yeah. Required study halls take away freedom. It's kind of like a resource. The the scholastic, the scholastic dictionary of American English defines freedom as a state of being free, having personal and political liberty, not controlled by others to let go, to set at liberty release. Many students admit that some characteristics are difficult to come in by while in no school these days. Perhaps the seniors were individuals who were hit the hardest by the new statewide requirements of longer school days and required study halls during the past school year. They had a taste of a good life as juniors with free periods, personal days, not to mention shorter school day and a longer lunch period. However, that was slipped out for under their feet, and they were forced to face the cruel reality of endless study halls. By taking away some of this freedom, the State Education Commission put a burden on students and teachers as well. They put a severe burden on teachers. Prep periods are remembrances of the good old days and the increase in classes, and therefore numbers of students demanded more planning time outside of the school day. Does that mean the teachers may not be as tough as they used to be? Generally speaking, people lose their grasp when they had to hold on to many things. The new school day and the stiffer demands on the students were simply two things that our individuals learned to get used to. The A student worked furiously all worked of a day, not keep up in class, and to maintain his strong academic standing. The student remained the C student who probably exchanged tough class for a simpler, less demanding one. All in all, the study halls specifically became inconveniences for both the student and the teacher, passes in endless attendance, taking monopolized valuable time. Athletics, academics exist hand in hand. The piercing of the alarm clock echoes in the ears of a tired yet determined high school student. Another day begins. He knows that it'll be a demanding day. He knows that it may be frustrating day. Yet he also knows that it may be a rewarding day. That is the reason he's able to roll out of the bed and stumble into the shower and prepare himself for the day's experiences. There was Coach Weinhelmer, Weinheim. Is that how you say Weinheimer or something like that? Weinheimer or something like that. It's kind of hard. I'll just say Mr. Coach Weinheimer or Weinhelmer. That's the way I pronounce. That's why. Okay, so academic teams achieved North's high standards. Okay, so the men's swimming team and state champion. The men's basketball team is a SCC winner, and the women's basketball team is second or sectional champion. What about the math team, or the history bowl team, or all of the other outstanding academic achievers, or sometimes they exist in the shadows of athletics? This year, the math team has had an excellent turnout of interested and dedicated individuals. Approximately, approximately 40 students met once a week to broaden their math skills and prepare themselves for math contests. Despite their tough region, North was still able to achieve levels of recognition. Richard Burton and Susan Kendrick, Lil Bill Linder, or John Brauntrager, Kong Bowie, and David Langford were just a handful who contributed to the overall success of the label team. The History Bowl is an annual competition among North, Columbus East, and Hollinger high schools. Even though the actual competition was never held this year because of the lack of sponsorship, the team was still selected and even practiced together a few times. The traditional trophy, sausage grinder, still remains in the school showcase. Along with these teen awards were given to students of science, art, music, industrial arts, and foreign language and business education. Everyone deserved recognition, not just the athletes. Appearances are a deceiving theme for homecoming. It was just like anything else. The unidentified CNHSer remarked the following of 1984 homecoming activities. Some people that thought it was a great while, others thought it was a big foul up and totally disorganized. Most of the positive remarks centered around the employment of more kids than ever before, in the planning and implementation of the various activities for return or of skenic float work, even though it was something different for the past years for continuance of the annual Powder Puff football game with its addition of the first ever King competition at the site of the homecoming dance. Its administration, which include the Halloween dress up or Mardi Gras approach, and renewed the school spirit for all homecoming programs. The negatives had to do with demise of a 10-speed bicycle race, which had been conducted every couple of years. The fact the dance was a sock hop, instead of a more formal type dance. Sorry, and the expected put-downs, the plans and procedures by those who seldom are pleased with somebody else's work. The dance after the game was held in a new gymnasium, which had been decorated again by the large number of student volunteers. Among the featured events were a funhouse type entrance for a fortune teller and its dispersal of the cash prizes for the best dressed costume guest are and recorded for all bone door prizes. Hidden identities or identities. This year's steering committee went all out to make a 1984 Columbus North coming a huge success, despite the loss of the football game to the Bloomington North. The other festivities proved to be exciting. The band performed a pre-game show in uniform and the halftime and Halloween costume. The theme appearances are deceiving that led to the idea that at the after football game, well, not the not the after actual game could be This could be hidden identities about the football game previously. I don't know if it says that, but the actual clear aid ball, the new gym, was used as a setting for dance. Other homecoming activities included the 7-minute float building by the homecoming committee at halftime. Just all that stuff, man. Turkey Day ceases to be a part of student life. As the years had progressed, we've seen less and less of this type activity, which is good. Lee Laurie Nelson, CNH's principal, remarked upper-class students want to be treated as adults, but I find it, and many of our teachers find it hard to treat them, such as they act so childishly. He was referring that of what had been enough unofficial, of what had been official. In that law, the annual event called the Turkey Shoot, the non-section activity usually took place the day before Thanksgiving, and sophomores more commonly referred as the turkeys, were the victims of all sorts of harassment and maybe mayhem. These sophomores were pushed around hit with water balloons and squirted with water pistols, which might contain water, perfume, or ink, or combinations of same. We hadn't had any really serious cases of injury during his day, but many sophomores are absent of his day in anticipation of being harassed. Nelson said, and I can't really blame them. Who wants to come to school and be squirted with perfume or be soaked with water and have to walk around in that condition of day? Is it really that embarrassing? Of course it is. It's a part of life, you know? You can't do that, you know? Dance accents the spirits of Christmas season. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Actually, snow was a far cry from the what Mother Nature produced on December 20th, 1984, the night of the CNHS holiday dance. While they're dining out or at home, students found themselves sad a bit soggy upon arrival of a dance at the Old Columbus Holiday Inn. For most, getting wet was a small price per day, for the tradition was nearly broken this year, and North students almost didn't have the holiday dance. Eventually, evidently, or the spirit of St. Nick swayed members of the student council to change their minds. Out of the 300 tickets available, 210 were purchased. Throughout the evening, music was provided by the band from Louisville called Random, which played everything from Elvis Presley to Lionel Richie. Christina Herber thought their music was very suitable for teenagers. The Holiday Inn was a scene for this year's dance and provided an atmosphere full of Christmas spirit and the enthusiasm, blended with the old-fashioned sense of romanticism. 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 This is the romantic. This is the romanticism of the of this kind of thing. These pictures that are shown right here. Australia and Germany host North students. Anyone who would like to know what it's like to be a land down under could try to walk with the pop music group Men at Work, but he would have a better chance at conversation as CNH's junior Hager, or Damien Hager. Damien, who is scheduled to return on December of 1985, has spent almost a year in Australia's second largest city, Melbourne, with a population of over 25 or 2.5 million people, proved to have quite a different lifestyle than that of Columbus. Australia, a 24-hour airplane trip, is 2 seasons different than North America. Damien left Columbus in the middle of January in 1985 so he could start school in late summer with his Australian peers. In Australia, he rides a bus and a streetcar to Reading College. A Catholic boys' school is registered in the 11th grade since the Australians are so educationally minded in their 11th grade and 12th grades tend to be more like our first year of college. Exchange students add to North Appeal. By the way of the language classes at McDowell Adult Education or Center, Marta, besides enjoying computer work, was interested in soccer, volleyball, or tennis. In her spare time, she enjoyed listening to country music and easy rock. The Atsuko Tanaka came from Japan through the Lutheran exchange program and greatly enjoyed the career in the States. She was a senior in a Sandwiches, but will start to have another year of schooling when she returns to Japan. Atsuko was a manager of the women's gymnastics team and was allowed to improve her talent on beam. On which she earned to letter, besides gymnastics, she is an accomplished pianist and a dancer, which can be described in this page. School spirit alive and well despite non-color regulations. Cheer, cheer! For old Northern High, shake down the banners cheering her name. Send the valiant cheer on high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. What though are odds to be or great or small? Old North High will win over all, while her loyal sons go marching onward to victory. This is what they're doing back in that day. I wish I did this stuff. New auditorium debuts with MAME. Taking yourself back 57 years wouldn't be so easy by any means, but the musician Mamie Vididuli relived the era for just before the Depression of 1946. It was based on the novel Auntie Mamie by Patrick Dennis, depicted the life of an upbeat and lively Mamie and her various activities and the people she met. A large cast of production crew covered the 20-year period in 2.5 hours in front of nearly 3,000, pardon me, during her three cons- cons- consecutive days performances. Anxiety, excitement, part of prom session. It's like prom season. Up where you belong. The 1985 prom theme meant going downtown for many students for May 17th, 1985. The prom night of offered the excitement, anxiety, and a major happening for several high school students. Prior to prom, there was anxiety among for most juniors and seniors as to who their dates would be. As the date grew nearer, excitement began to build. The thought of attending a completely formal dance began to encourage young men to look for ideas of a perfect date. After prom party, students without ID, students with guests, students with ID. If you have like a school ID, you could probably enter. Students enjoy view of 50 United States. Traveling throughout the 50 United States is often a lifelong goal that is sometimes reached only after one can retire to have more free time. But 1985, after prom party, gave students a unique opportunity to do this without any expense. Close to 1,700 North and East students strolled through the foundation of youth girls in the boys' club for admiring the decorations and majority of the decoration highlighting the theme Columbus discovers America were handmade by parents who started as early as February in order that they could complete their task. Besides the purchased state plaques used for centerpieces, other decorations include painted signs depi- depicting various scenic spots across America, sponsored by the Parks and Recreation Department, with the Foundation for the Youth. What do you think this is? What do you think this is, honestly? It kind of looks like a. What do you call it? Talent show benefits more of an audience. The 1985 talent show definitely lived up to its adjectives of talent. The show ranged for the classic talent of violin, for the humorous skits, for the not ready for prime time players. The exceptional talent was only a portion for the excitement of the show. The new Justin S. Earned Auditorium was used for the first time. Despite a few technical difficulties, it was used to fullest. Not only were the acts seen on the center stage, but they were also seeing the wings in the rising pit, even though this with the special factor students, body president Pete Griffith and the student council wanted to still another extra to make it to be show to be remembered. That's what he was trying to do. Show climaxes with video interpretation. This is what they're this is what these words are, which can be described. This girl looks so damn gorgeous. She looks hot. I'm okay being single, but if you guys want to be my, if you girls out there want to be my, if you're a girl that's single, then you could probably be my girlfriend. But if not, then I'm okay being single. That's totally fine. Cause I could be a single dad or something like that, but I don't know about if I can find a real girlfriend. I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life, basically. I mean, basically. But I do need a girlfriend. But I'm okay being single though. But it will be nicer if I had a girlfriend right now. But I'm still gonna look for one. Okay. School pride built up by the student government. Despite the various changes at Northershire due to new state regulations, the student government was able to sponsor many events that added to the success of a pleasant and rewarding year because of a little flexibility in the strict academic daily time scheduled. It was difficult to meet as a large group and discuss issues, projects, because of that hard work they have to do after the school hours and dedication. So that's all of the work they have to do for this type of year. AFS scholarship, Wendy Westbrook. This is all the congratulations for 1985. Little Johnny says hello to the world. This is what he was doing previously. Hi, Joan. How are you? Just fine, Sue. And you? Said Joan to her good friend and neighbor. She continued. Can you believe that my little Johnny is in kindergarten this year? I can't believe it. My little boy Johnny. So many times the above is a conversation between two friends talking about their children starting school. After this big shock, come several years, such as becoming a teenager turning 16 and getting a driver's license, then coming the matching movement, which turns into a year of classic excitement and highlights. I hate growing up. It's a long time. You have a long way to live, man. When you die, life just goes on and on and on, no matter what. State regulations proved not too popular. Faculty's reviews are mixed. Students are overwhelming, or students are overwhelmingly negative. If it had been an election, the experts would have called it a landslide. Pollsters might be described the outcome as decisive or overwhelming, whatever it is. Descrip- descriptives of the 300 Columbus North students recently surveyed, 88% answered no when asked if 11 school days is important or improving the quality of their education. Most people say it's fine, or if it's okay, that's totally fine. Parents see no change of their children. 8% said the homework load had been decreased. 40% said that there had been no change and never had replied to their homework. Load had been increased. The majority of those who said it increased said it was due for the extra class, for the extended class. Most parents threw their child's homework load was about right. 64% agreed that the homework load was about right. But 28% said that there was too much. 8% said that it was not enough. Not only parents said that their child's grades has improved because of a longer school day, well, over half a day said that they noticed no change in their grades, while 36% said grades had lowered. When a kid is too tired to be cause of an 11th school day, how can he be expected to put forth of his full capabilities of study? One parent asked. Now go find out. People. Campus life reaches out for North students. 25 went out to Florida this year. For next year, Rust had decided to continue the program as it is. Try to get as many kids involved. In order to do this, Russ said he would like to strengthen the student staff, those students for North who help plan outings and meetings to make the meetings spiritually deeper. Amy Titus. Changes the results in the student body unity. There were some interesting changes as CNHS as a result and new state education commission. Regulations affecting Indiana schools in 1994 to 1995. There was a more student body unity at Columbus North High School because classes were mixed together in their study halls as visits among different class members also took place in their school resource centers and library. There was nothing to break down traditionally because most seniors don't have that capability of time or just simply talking to each other. Chuck Abner, Charles Acton, Deanna Acton, James Acton, Kenneth Acton, Leilani Acton, Matt Acton, Teresa Acton, Jennifer Adams, Jill Adams, Julie Adams, Dan Adrian, Kirsten Adrian, Bill Alcock, Shannon Eldridge, Kim Alexander, Tony Alexander, Chris Allen, Rhonda Allen, Scott Allen, Sherry Allman, Steve Allman, Susan Allman, and Vance Allman. During the school first halftime of the trombone, that is some people that do this stuff. I don't even go to my locker that much. I don't even go to my locker very much. I just don't. Tina Strevel, I'm not familiar with her. Film series helps in choosing college. Sometimes the visitation to out of state colleges can be hard to arrange with a school schedule as it is. But with the help of Learning Resource Center, which people are in at North Carolina, college visitations become easier during the past school year. Academics. Heerdow resigns as superintendent. 1984 proved to be a trial year of oodles of new rules which took effect. The administration became the least favorite people among students. Principal Nelson and assistant principals Taylor Powell not always completely favor some of the rules passed down but enrolled, enforced them as a good of students. what they did here. This is what people are. Honestly, this is what people are principals in. Basically, LRC Reading Lab boosts students' skills. Contrary the popular belief, this learning resource center and reading lab are available to everyone for help with their homework. Individualized tutoring, or to sit or read a book. Reading lab was a 9 weeks elective course selected by over 200 students. They were able to sit down and gain advantages in their own studies by learning proper study habits and receiving individual help with reading skills. This is only for people who is having trouble reading or doesn't know English very well. What part they're stuck on, come to that kind of thing. They'll be able to help you, man. AV department state's largest. The audiovisual program has established itself for being the one of the finest in Indiana. According to Mr. Bob's Brookshire, AV coordinator, we have the largest videotaping library in the state of high schools. So it was way different back then. Cooperative students take to the work scene. Don't be surprised if, while out to lunch and walking past fashion shop or Huffer Beauty College, or you happen to catch a glimpse of someone you know from North working during high school hours. These students are part of a cooperative program at North. Home Ec Department offers varied menu, which is for some children adorable. Although many changes had come out this past year, the home economics department remained virtually unchanged. It still offered their variety of programs designed to prepare young adults in many different careers and future lifestyles, which is what they did there. This is for some children that seems to be interested in this kind of stuff. Industrial students sharpen their skills. Preparation for a career, a head start for over other prospective employees, and an excellent job placement record. The statement described the specific department of the educational program at Columbus North, the industrial education program, which can be one of those right there, which what they're working on. The fixing of, I think it's like welding or something with that. I can't really tell. Oh, the electronics class. I usually think that they're doing. I usually think it's some kind of like. Oh, I thought it was like welding. I think it's like building trades, but it is kind of welding. But it is kind of that welding. What he's like doing right here. This is kind of welding. This place is kind of more like welding here, even though it's kind of welding. Students take active role in vocational ed. What made the vocational ed Cercilium different for college prep Cercilium? If it is a question many wondered about, but if you had actually endeavored to answer, actually it was a quite a unique program that students could be part of. Big Blue participates in the Peach Bowl game. In a 3 year period, the Big Blue Band of Columbus North grown to be deserved its respected place, or a title. It's like respected title. Only 3 years ago, the band consisted of the mere 61 members at the time of a Gimbel's Thanksgiving Day parade in 1983. The band had grown to 147 by the end of the 1984-85 school year, and the band grew to 155 members of the students. They were marching bands, all that shit, basically. 7 different vocal groups display talent. Singing is something nearly everyone does, whether one is sings in shower or just listens to the radios or a favorite album, or one may catch himself singing. And some people, however, sing to certain and entertain. Such in this case with many students in the CNHS choral department. Groups like the Music Men and Deputeens and entertain throughout the country that people could, or it could be, or it could be in many schools though. That could be described in the yearbooks in different schools though, or it could be around the county. Art students achieve prestigious awards. The objectives of the art department and expressed by instructor Dale Patterson is to get people to express themselves visually. This is achieved through the building of the concepts of material usage of a technical understanding, two-dimensional projects such as art drawings or paintings or designs. The central emphasis, however, of the three-dimensional projects of sculpture or ceramics are focused upon the art craft, which if you guys are in a daycare, you this is what you learn. This is what you learn from the art department. This is what you should do, like drawing or painting. This is what is actually encourage students to do. I mean, it's kind of mandatory to take art if you are actually interested. I'm not sure it's kind of like mandatory for elementary school students, but if you know something about it, just let me know in the comments and I'll be able to help you. So, yeah, computer are required in business classes. With the addition of 22 computers in the business department, the business students had more requirements placed on them. Accounting students were able to use 11 of the computers that were placed in resources centers during their study halls. Introduction to business class students were required to use them after the accounting students were done. This is what they did here. Yeah, business was most some of my friends they some of my friends are use some of my friends are um some of my friends are in ceramics, but it's okay. I'm in jewelry. I'm more like a jewelry and glass student. I don't know. I'm just kind of interested in that class. But I do like glass. I am interested to jewelry and glass. I'm not sure if this was involved in 1985, but just let me know. Participation up in pub photo classes, which is known for photography. Okay, so I don't think jewelry and glass was involved. So, year begins colorfully in pub. Largest ever enrollment noted in PE. Classrooms OD one plate only, one place to study. The student body and faculty could find the fault in the extended school day, but the foreign language staff made it work to their advantage. Slightly more than 35% of the student body enrolled in foreign English this year. The extra period in each day gave students the available time to pursue their interests in foreign languages. Math department keeps up the pace. I know some of you guys hate math, but you guys are gonna have to, deal with it. Um, I know that you don't like it, but you have to deal with it. It is required for 4 years in your military school, and you should learn numbers for you should learn numbers for probably like 2 years old or something. Uh, Most of you guys know it for probably one and a half that you discovered the numbers or letters. This for numbers, this is where you'll learn math from. In letters, where you learn vocabularies when you learn English from. In the world is where you learn social studies. And the actual movement is where you learn about science. So that's what I'm talking about here. Okay. Science department undergoes changes. Little do most people know that many exciting things went on in the area of science last year. Um, Two new teachers joined the department: Denise Briner, who taught chemistry, and Sarah Wasmuth, who taught biology. These auditions were essential because of the new state regulations, which required all freshmen to take 2 years of the science of graduation. Um, I know that some of you guys love science. Like a like a you actually like about the movement. Most of the guys had like AP chemistry or honors chemistry. Doesn't matter what chemistry, but for me in my school, I took ICP. Which is remind for integrated chemistry and physics, which was a good place for me. I was supposed to be on biology, but I figured that I would not be as good because I don't know. Uh, I don't know. Like if I did not have ICP, then I would be stuck to biology, which can be the pain in the ass. But come on. I mean, we're all in this together. I mean, it's not like we're gonna be the end of the world. Basically, it's not gonna be like, oh no, which class should I be in? I don't know about biology. I mean, why am I taking this? I should have just taken a different course. That could be it. Campbell returns as a returns to high school as a history teacher. Campbell returns to as a high school history teacher. History, social studies, social sciences, it didn't make any difference what you called it. The reaction used to be about the same, but that doesn't seem to be the case of Columbus North High School anymore. With the institution, the elective classes a few years ago, the the image of all social sciences classes to gain in charge. More of the students are beginning to appreciate the subject, to appreciate the factory that they should always um, could be considered. English teachers in demand at meetings. While education in the public schools has been under attack for a number of school years, seeing it as education must be doing something right, especially in the English department chairman. Shirley Lester, the members of the English staff seen to be a high on the list of desired special instructors at English workshops all over the county. Miss Lister presented an hour-long program, national list of Council of Teachers of English in Detroit of two different locations in November. Dealing with the cooperation between Columbus public schools and local industry, which could be intervened for some students better that like to do something like that. The prison, a 7.5 hour vigil studying, library time, limited 18-digit card used. Okay, so I'll do a part two on that one.